Today we're taking a journey through the pages of a book that's shaking up the way we think about power, control, and the very fabric of American society. The book is The Power to Control: How the Elite Conspire Against You by Tom Pane, and it's the first in the Deconstructing America series. So grab your notebooks, because we're about to peel back the curtain on some of the most intriguing and unsettling revelations about the world we live in. Let's start with a bold claim. Throughout history, a tiny fraction of people, less than 1%, have held the reins of power, while the rest of us have been left to navigate the systems they've created. Pane argues that this isn't a coincidence or a byproduct of any particular system. It's a deliberate strategy that transcends time, geography, and political ideology. Whether we're talking about monarchs, dictators, or the modern-day billionaire class, the goal remains the same: control. Pane takes us back 10,000 years to the dawn of agriculture, when the concept of private land ownership first emerged. This, he says, was the beginning of real inequality. Families who owned land could accumulate wealth and pass it down, creating dynasties that wielded not just economic power but political power as well. This concentration of wealth and power, he argues, has only intensified over time, leading to the world we see today. But here's where things get interesting. Pane challenges the narrative that the American Revolution was a fight for freedom and equality. Instead, he paints it as a strategic move by a group of wealthy elites who wanted to break free from British control to better serve their own interests. The Founding Fathers, he suggests, weren't just visionary leaders. They were savvy businessmen who saw an opportunity to consolidate power and wealth. So, how did they do it? Pane delves into the tactics used by these elites to rally support from the masses. The Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, he argues, were masterstrokes of propaganda. They were crafted to appeal to the ideals of freedom and equality, but in reality they served to legitimize a new ruling class. These documents, he points out, were written by and for a select group of white male landowners, excluding women, slaves, and the poor. Pane doesn't stop there. He argues that the American Revolution was not a popular uprising, but rather a carefully orchestrated coup by wealthy elites who used propaganda to manipulate public opinion. They convinced the masses that they were fighting for a noble cause, when in reality they were simply swapping one set of rulers for another. But how do the elites maintain their grip on power? Pane outlines a multi-pronged approach that includes indoctrination, conditioning, and the strategic use of fear. He argues that our education system, media, and even our language are all tools used to shape our perceptions and keep us in line. Take education, for example. Pane suggests that our schools are not designed to create critical thinkers, but rather obedient workers. From a young age, we're taught to memorize facts, follow rules, and compete with each other, rather than question authority or challenge the status quo. This indoctrination, he says, is reinforced by the media, which serves as a mouthpiece for the elite, promoting narratives that serve their interests. And let's not forget about fear. Pane argues that fear is a powerful tool used to control the masses, whether it's the fear of terrorism, economic collapse, or social unrest. These threats are often exaggerated or manufactured to keep us compliant. The elites, he says, use fear to justify increased surveillance, military spending, and the erosion of civil liberties. Perhaps the most unsettling part of Pane's argument is his assertion that we don't live in a true democracy. He claims that the United States is more accurately described as a plutocracy, a government run by the wealthy, for the wealthy. He points to the influence of corporate lobbyists, the revolving door between government and big business, and the lack of genuine representation for the average citizen. Pane argues that the two-party system is a facade, designed to give us the illusion of choice. In reality, he says, both parties are beholden to the same corporate interests, and the policies they enact reflect this. The real decisions, he argues, are made behind closed doors by a small group of elites who prioritize their own wealth and power over the needs of the people. Pane introduces the concept of the corporate state, a system where corporations wield immense power and influence over government and society. He argues that corporations have become the new monarchs, dictating policy, shaping public opinion, and controlling the flow of information. This, he says, is the true nature of the modern American state. In conclusion, the power to control is a wake-up call to all of us. It challenges us to question the narratives we've been fed, to look beyond the surface, and to recognize the mechanisms of control that shape our world. Pane's message is clear. If we want to live in a truly free and just society, we must first understand the forces that seek to manipulate and control us. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the power to control. I hope this episode has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to think more deeply about the world we live in. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep shining your light.
Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.